Have you ever dreamed of spending Christmas surrounded by the stunning wildlife of the Serengeti, then ringing in the new year on the pristine beaches of Zanzibar? Join me on an extraordinary 10-day adventure with Visit Tanzania for Less. Our journey kicks off in the heart of the Serengeti. For 2 days you'll witness the majestic wildlife in their natural habitat, creating unforgettable holiday memories. Next, we explore the breathtaking Ngorongoro crater, a true wonder of nature, home to a dense concentration of wildlife. Feel the thrill of spotting the Big Five and more. But the adventure doesn't stop there. Continue with the Serval Wildlife Tour. Discover the beautiful South African white lions while learning about the efforts to protect them. After your safari, enjoy 5 days in Zanzibar. Relax on pristine beaches, explore vibrant coral reefs, and soak in the rich culture and history of this tropical paradise. End your trip with a guided city tour of Dar es Salaam. Discover the vibrant life of Tanzania's largest city and immerse yourself in its unique charm. This entire journey of a lifetime is only $3,805 per person. Secure your spot with just a $300 deposit and enjoy flexible monthly payments. For more information and to book your holiday special, visit visittanzania4less.com. Spend less and see more. This holiday season, create memories that will last a lifetime with Visit Tanzania for Less. Happy holidays and happy travels.
Happy Friday, beautiful people. Happy Veterans Day weekend, beautiful people. Salute to everyone who has served in our military, protecting our country, protecting the Constitution, and much love for you. As a fellow veteran of the United States Army Reserve, I salute you to everyone who made those sacrifices for us. In the studio, my comrade Big Rob, the general's in the building. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing just dandy, sir. And you?
All right. I like those Jamaican colors you got on. A Rasta man today. He's a Rastafarian. Are the Rasta colors? Let me see what you got on, brother. There you go. Oh, soul of a king.
King of the jungle.
King of the jungle. Heart of a lion, mind of a god, soul of a king. He is in the building. Looking good, man.
Thank you, sir.
Where you
Got
get
a lot
that
of
from?
compliments from this man. From the place you showed me. You
Oh,
remember
that one
UK?
player. I'm not gonna give no free advertising. They online. Right. In the studio with us, the reigning champ himself, one of the senior Democrats in Muskegon County, our Muskegon County Commissioner, Charles Nash. Welcome to the show, brother. How
Thank you,
doing?
PA. Appreciate you.
All right.
And Big Rob.
Yes, sir.
Man, it was a battle Tuesday night.
Yeah.
A slugfest.
That's putting it lightly.
Have you ever been challenged like that in your seat?
No, well, yeah, we have been. Back in 2016, we had kind of the same situation, and certain people got knocked off. I was lucky at that time because I had a good district, which I knew was going to turn out for me, and it was highly democratically populated. So I made it through that one, but it crushed a lot of different people on different parts of the party. So that's what my whole fear was with this election was, here we go again. And a lot of people kept saying, oh, don't worry, you got it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to say that because I've seen this happen before. So you never know what kind of sneak attack is happening.
Right.
And I saw a lot of organization behind the scenes, and I was like, whew, they got their thing a little bit tighter than we do, but we were lucky and blessed. A lot of us still came out in the end, and was glad to see that.
So the county commissioner is still controlled by Democrats.
Yes.
In spite of the fact that Donald Trump won Muskegon County.
Correct.
How did
and that was the difference last time. Last time Donald Trump won the county, but this time he did not win the county. And that was the blessing for us. So there was some organization. There was a lot of push to get out that vote. And a lot of people were determined. But, we can only speak for Muskegon County. We can't speak for the rest of the state and all the other, battleground states.
Yeah.
What does this mean for Muskegon County politics, Muskegon County county commissioners?
Well, for the local commission, and talk with a commissioner too, and I'm saying, and they're saying the same thing, at least now we can continue on with the same work. We don't have to worry about the board being changed and everything else being changed. because we kind of put some things in motion at the start of the year, this past year, that we want to try to continue on with, especially when it comes to, housing and sustainability and different things of that sort. We've got some new hiring process or departments and hiring things that are going to be happening. So we wanted to continue on with those without having a whole new board and a whole new change. And that kind of flusters everybody through all departments and positions. So yeah, we get to continue some of the work that we started, and we're hoping to continue to do good work. And I think that's what that vote was about. I think people like what we've been doing and what we've been trying to do. And I think they remember what happened last time, because when we had that swing and that board change, it got real disruptive in Muskegon County, and we was making a lot of crazy headlines over partisan, junk. But now, we don't have that. And I think it's going to even pull us together a little bit more to work a little bit more across party lines and make things happen for the community.
Wow. Any shockers for you in this past election cycle?
No, like I said, the only thing I'm shocked is that we all pulled it out, because like I said, I'm seeing this happen before, and I'm like, oh boy, here come that wave, we in trouble. But in the end, the people spoke, and I can tell you, because same day vote was killing us. Same day vote was killing us, but absentee brought us back. Absentee ballots brought us back.
Wow. In the studio, Charles Nash, County Commissioner. Are you still going to be chairperson of the County Commission?
Well, that depends on the board, because the board is going to have to start over, and we're going to have to make an organizational agreement, and we'll see if the commissioners still agree with me being chair.
How long have you been chair?
This will be my first time as chair in this 2-year term.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to 4 years. So we'll see if I'm reelected, if we want to do 4-year term, or if we want to do a 2-year term. We get to make decisions on how we want that to go. Because usually the vice chair is reelected every year. The chair would stay for 2 years, but now with it being 4.
So this is a 4-year term now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So you good.
Yeah.
For
so
4 years.
The state. Yeah. Oh. All I kept thinking about was, man, I don't have to campaign in another year.
Right.
That is music to my ears.
How did that happen?
The state. The state finally made the change, and I think it was probably more Democratic leadership that said, hey, we need to make this change, and it'll be better for everybody.
So the whole state now, all the county commissioners,
every county commissioner in the whole state would have 4-year terms now.
I think that's better, man. 2 years.
Yeah. And I learned that myself, because we even had more of a new board with the redistricting. And when you see the redistricting happen with so many new people, I seen that there was time we need to develop and grow this board, because everybody's new. And you can't pick it all up in a year that fast. So by the time you get in your second year, you're trying to campaign, and you still learning, where you're trying to go. So it's good to have people that's there consistently for 4 years, because at least you're not changing every 2, and every time you turn around, you got different direction, different people, different views. And so that makes quite of a different mess. But getting everybody back, like I said, we started some things. Everybody's growing. We're developing together and learning how to work together. And I think we're going to be able to do that a little bit more and much better, with this term.
Wow. Anything, Rob? I got it. Primo.
Oh, yeah. The county. How's the county doing?
Actually, the county is doing well. We've had, some different ups and downs and adversities we have to deal with, but I think we've made the adjustments to make those things happen, because, we had to do this wage study, which was quite a effort to make sure, because we're in competition with other communities, because these wage things are becoming a big issue. But I think we made quite a big effort in trying to make sure that those things happen, make us more competitive, so we stop losing so many people and maybe draw some people in also.
During this election cycle, there were political action committees out there, Democratic side, Republican side. What kind of influence do you feel that they might have had on the outcome of the election?
Well, I think everybody was trying to drive home their points about what they needed. And I'll tell you the one thing that I've learned, and just paying attention to people and paying attention to news. I think what we have to do is make sure we pay attention to people, the people, and what they want and what their views are, because there was so much, everybody's barking at each other about their points and this and that. But I think the key to winning people over is not only making your points, but learning to listen. And I think that's something that we kind of lost a little bit as a party, and making sure we listen to people and their concerns, because I think a lot of Democrats are taking this very hard. A lot of people, individuals, it's almost personal.
Really? Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
I
to the
think
point
me
where
and Rob saw that. Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, you win some, you lose some. But I think the biggest point is, we're so busy trying to get across that we're also not listening. And I think that's where we lost people to the other side, where they're trying to share their views and why they feel the way they do. And we're just on our stump, trying to get our point across, instead of just listening and saying, yeah, I could empathize with what you think and how you feel, but I don't really know if I ain't listening.
21% black men voted for Donald Trump on the Republican side. What were they saying when you talk to black men? What are they saying to you?
Well, when I talked to most folks, they were saying, yeah, Cameron, but then a lot of them were saying, was she the best pick? What could have been somebody else? And then you talk to some voters and they say, why didn't she take Shapiro instead of something? And then what I'm hearing across both lines, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, some people just saying, you know what, I don't care what you guys say, I like him. He say what he want to say, and he mean what he say, and he do what he want to do. And it throws me, but you know what? That's what they were on. It didn't matter how much you argued about it, but they're like, but that's okay. I like him. I like the way he present. I just like it. He just say what he would say. He ain't following the crowd. He doing his own thing. And I'm like, I'm trying to come to understand it. Sometimes how you feel ain't necessarily how everybody else feel, and sometimes the way you think ain't how everybody else thinks. So one guy told me a long time ago, he said, it's not so important that you understood, but it's more important that you understand. And so that's where I think sometimes we just got to do more understanding than trying to get our point across.
I know what. Go ahead, Rod.
And I don't care how you package a person. I don't think myself, Paul, or Obama could get away with saying the things that he has said. And sometimes that's the problem. I could say the exact same thing he stated, Donald Trump, and I would be looked upon as a angry black man.
The double standard.
It's the double standards that's it for me. Okay, yeah, I believe in politicians being upfront and truthful. And if politicians are upfront and truthful, if you've never been in that seat, whether it's the president of the United States, city commission, county commission, mayor, chief of police, whatever, if you've never been in that seat, you don't know what that seat brings. That's just my humble opinion. You don't know. I don't know what Paul has to go through dealing with payroll and stuff, even though, I'm his assistant. I don't know what his worries really are, So for somebody to say something as, immature to me as that a person, they like what a person is saying. No, you like the package that they're saying.
Maybe the package, maybe this be devil's advocate, his package was better packaged than the Democrat side for the black men, because obviously 21% is 1 out of 5 black men.
But he didn't even have a package. That's the problem.
It's probably the Democrats probably didn't have a package that was talking to them, and they probably felt
she eventually did, but it was late.
Oh my God, it was late. That was a good package. The 20,000 alone,
it was really late, and you didn't hear a lot of black guys talking about it because it was so late.
Maybe they didn't believe it.
They might have been just locked in for so long already that this late news did make a difference.
I think she did good only having 107 days.
That's a lot.
I think she did.
Short time. Yeah.
If she had more time,
she can't hold her head down.
Nah.
Right. Maybe she could have readjust it, because even in this political forum, sometimes you got to readjust, and
I'm gonna tell you
she
who
didn't
I
have
feel
time.
for. I feel for our black women, and I feel for our black women because when you start looking at different people I talk to, people on social media, they were just crushed because they felt like it was them.
Mm.
And black women are behind white women, every other woman, never mind behind the men. So they feel like they have to work extra hard just to even get somewhere up in the ladder.
Mhm.
And when you seen this happen, they would just crush. And I just seen people in tears. I seen people upset, and I seen a lot of them just angry. And they was disappointed. I saw one post. The lady was talking about how she was just all she did was cry all morning.
Wow.
And she did a post where she was trying to put her makeup on, and all she kept crying, had to keep redoing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just feel, this feeling coming from our black women that they felt like it was them against
all over
them.
the country. Black women did win in Orlando, Florida. Monique Royale, who was taken out of office by Governor DeSantis, who appointed Andrew Bain, who did a great job in the interim time. I got a chance to know him, Andrew Bain, but the people voted Monique back in office in spite of the fact that Andrew Bain, he was able to get like maybe $2.5 million worth of advertising from outsiders against her. But this black woman won. There are other testimonies around the country. We've seen a first black, I think a senator out of Maryland or something like that. One of that won. So I wouldn't internalize it. We salute Vice President Harris for taking up on this challenge.
Yeah. And black women were very instrumental in electing Joe Biden.
Yeah, no doubt.
Very instrumental in electing Joe Biden. So, and I'm not saying that that's the reality of all our black women. I just felt like the more I kept hearing, the more I kept seeing, you could see how crushed a lot of them were.
Yeah.
And they took it personal. And I think it was more like, why couldn't they support us like we supported them? And,
that's become some disconnect. Like here in Muskegon, I was using Muskegon as a prime example. That was a women's group that was opposing one of the most prominent black men in the history of Muskegon, Judge Pittman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that right there is a divisive thing. If you and we cannot deny the legacy that he has had in this community.
No.
And to find that this man is being lied upon and pretty much demonized, inhumanized by women who are Democrats, you got to think that creates some division too.
Yeah.
And so it goes both ways. And I'm not sure if that women's group would do that to a white man. I don't know if I've seen it.
They haven't.
Maybe. So it go both ways.
Well, I ain't gonna say that. I'll just say
will.
any women's group, and no knock, they just feel like, again, you think about black women, how they feel so far behind everybody else. And even women in its own right feel so far behind everybody else that they're willing to challenge any male. And that's the thing that gets me, because I'm not against women, but my whole thing is if you have a better candidate that's a male, and you just post somebody just because she's female, I don't think that's right.
No,
I think you got to have the right candidate, the best candidate. But to just say she's better because she's female, I mean, that's reversal what you're trying to get away from.
Right. And to oppose somebody just because they're male too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We got some comments.
They don't want us to do it to them.
Yeah, we got some comments.
Right.
Because they're female.
Jamie Green said, if you want to be part of the collective mission to help women strive for generations, please join us. If you're aware of events, especially a national march, January the 18th, join and see what you think. William Kitchen said, Democrats didn't have a package this cycle that was believable. They force-fed us their choice and didn't equip her with the right mechanics. We love black men, but we love black women, but tired of the support failure of the party. I can say this, child. You're a Democrat. A lot of black men did not like transgender boys playing in sports with girls. and I don't know if that's a Democratic thing or a Republican thing, but it came out, it was targeted in packages as if your party supported that, even though the federal law has been there for the prisoners part. That part has been in law.
But see, I haven't even delved into that because I think a lot of that was really blown out of proportion.
It helped though.
I think it was more talking about healthcare, and you're right. But then it got posted as if she particularly changed something when she wasn't really in charge. So she particularly changed something a bit, and I think that's a point of taking sound bites and piecing them together.
But
and
no
it
response,
sounds all good.
No response though. Like
And
they left it out
sometimes,
there.
I mean, in this short of time, she had to get that message out that we was talking about. She was trying to get that new package out about what she had for the Black community and every community, really, because she tried to clean that up too. Because I know some people say, well, why is this just for the Black folks? But anytime you say it's for us, it's really for everybody. Because Obama did the same thing, and he said, you know what? I can put it out here, but I can't make you go do it. So he was letting us know he had some packages that were for us, but everybody was eligible. But we had to be knowledgeable enough to understand what was out there and be able to go access it and go get it. But a lot of times what happened was there was people that just didn't look like us that was accessing those things because they knew how and they followed up on it. And we got to know how, and we got to follow up on it too.
Yeah,
but I think again, all that was so late, 107 days, and you're trying to get packages out at the but I do like the fact that even with that short time, she had one. And never once did you get one from the other side. I never once heard a plan for us as Black men. I never seen one really as a plan for us as a country. So to me, I thought, it was just crazy how we were voting for something that didn't even have a package.
And even if it's,
I got a comment online for Jamie Green said that's a silly argument. It's alarmist and implementary and basically mean. Jamie, Black men are entitled to their opinion, just like you are entitled to yours. And I think we should not discount that. That's because you might feel one way, feel the other. That's how they felt. We're taught to them.
And that's what I was saying earlier. It's not a point of me discarding what they believe and what they think. I'm saying I can have my opinion just like they can have their opinion. And just because I feel like mine is better, it don't mean theirs isn't for them. Right. It's everybody's perception and everybody's reality. I just had this conversation with a few of my, students that's in my class, and we was talking about the exact same thing. And they were finally agreeing. We were all agreeing. Your perception is your perception, and that don't mean it's wrong. Right. That's what you believe, and that's what you see. Just like mine is mine. Don't mean I'm wrong, but in my reality, this is what I think is right. Right.
But really, this is the way I see things. I'm mixed. My mother was white, my father was Black. And what I see in a lot of this is that if a Black president is in office, he can't really do too much for Black people. But a white man in office can do a whole lot for Black people because that Black man can't. Now, I may be wrong, but I want to see what Trump does for Black people. A lot of Black people in Detroit, that's where I grew up at, they didn't want to see Kwame Kilpatrick out at all. But who got him out?
Jim Clyburn and Donald Trump office. Jim Clyburn worked behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. Same thing with people, rappers, Kodak Black, who got him out.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Could Obama have done that? I don't think so. Without a whole lot of backlash.
Well, he could have did it in his second term,
right? But he still would have had backlash.
Yeah.
The Obamas.
Maybe the Republicans just don't care about backlash, and Democrats are more
conservative about
that's what I'm saying. That's what a lot of young Black guys that I talk to, that's what they like. The fact that they just say what they want to say and they do what they want to do.
Keep rolling.
And I'm cool with that.
Right.
But like I said, you got to look at that package. They don't care he's got
felonies and all that. He's like, look, I'm in prison. I don't care anyway. And these guys that can't vote, but they throwing all their support behind him. But this is some of these younger guys out here also that are saying, hey, man, this is what I like. But it's a whole new generation, and they got a whole different perspective. And we got to be able to listen, because that's some of their issue they have with us is like,
We
y'all
don't
too
listen.
busy telling us everything instead of listening to.
Right.
William Kitchen says, why can't they specifically identify packages and legislation for the LGBT community, the Asian community, Pacific Islander community, but shy away from discussing what they would do specifically for a black agenda? Does the Democratic Party, I hate to put you on the spotlight, you don't speak for the Democratic Party.
Not at all. Not at all.
Maybe, have you heard about a black agenda for the Democratic Party?
You talking about the local agenda? I mean, the local
maybe
party?
local, yeah.
No, I mean, and that's something we always seem to have to fight for also, because there was a few heavy discussions this past season about the support for the Heights, and it took people that look like us to keep fighting these battles, to keep speaking up on these things. And that's how you've seen some of these supports that came out to the community, where the office became out in the Heights. And then you got all the, this team got built up in the Heights, because of support, because it takes money to make some of this stuff happen.
Right.
And so you can't pay for an office, on dreams. You have to be able to pay for it with cash. So you need an office, you need phones, you need, documents, you need all kinds of stuff to make all this work. And you have to get that support. And over the years, that support had dwindled. But this year it kind of got a lot of folks, pushing and shoving behind it. And you always have to get some comrades too, because it ain't just us that's gonna make it happen. So you have to get some people that don't look like you but got influence with the party, and those things happen. And then we saw things start to happen in Muskegon Heights.
And for me locally,
Mm-hmm.
we have not had a black sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
We have never had a black chief of police in Muskegon Police Department.
Got one in North Muskegon.
Got one in North Muskegon who applied for Muskegon Police Department.
I don't know if you.
Oh, I heard.
I don't.
Okay,
Maybe,
I'll talk to you.
Sure.
I'll talk to you about that off air. But I'm just saying, what is the Democratic Party doing locally for blacks? Because we got one black judge. One.
Well,
okay,
let me say this. The biggest problem we have with anybody in leadership is we never really get anybody that's qualified, that steps up to the plate to do that.
Okay, I got to disagree with you with that, because there has been qualified black people
that stepped up and ran.
That stepped up.
You're talking about political positions, like running for sheriff.
Sheriff and
sheriff
stuff.
is a political.
See, the sheriff is not appointed. The sheriff is elected.
Is elected. Yeah, I get that.
So no, we haven't had.
But even think about this: if I know I'm not going to win, then why am I going to put all this money behind it and go in taking the chance that I'm not going to win? It's just like Tony Tagg to me, because black people went in and just hit straight ticket. That's how he kept going in. But they're calling us, complaining about what he was doing. Now, there's a way. I want to find out how he's voting now.
Well, we already know. But
but it's like
he retired now. He probably ain't voting.
Right.
But I'm just saying, what is the Democratic Party, in my opinion, doing in this county to attract more black people here for these positions that are in there? You look at that county building, you just look at it one day. Walk in there and look at the county building.
County commissioner.
No, I know. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can tell you this. As far as the party, that's not one of the positions that they highly position themselves into trying to make happen. Even with the county, it's been a battle over the years, because I've been there, over a decade, and I've been harping on this since I got in there. But the truth is, we have a lack of candidates, lack of variety, because sometimes you might get one, but you already know it ain't gonna work. And I'm not knocking us. I'm just saying we just don't get that kind of leadership or dedication. Because I'm always telling, when we have openings, especially for major positions that we need to have some effective change in,
Right.
I'm always saying, let's hit that National Black Network over here, and let's make sure so we're always getting, even if we use a consultant, it's like I want to make sure that we're connecting with these Black resources also.
Right.
And not just because that's the only thing that's going to make it right, but we need an opportunity. I need to be able to have some ideas, and they need to be able to have ideas and picks. And I can't just push this Black agenda and ain't nobody showing up.
Right.
So we got to get people to actually show up. And then we also, with the young people,
I agree with you there.
We got to get young people trained up to be able to take these things down the road, because people have to be in that position. But if we're not training them to be in that position, because matter of fact, I can tell you one right now. It's a very close friend, and we've been talking a little bit. And I'm saying, listen, I can put you in a position where you could actually be pretty strong for this position that may come up, down the road here.
Down the road.
But I need you to get into this training. I need you to get into this tutelage and take this mentor. And if you do those things, you got a good shot. Now I'm not giving it to you, but you got to work at it. And I think you can bring people to generally say, hey, this is a good candidate.
Wow.
We had a young brother from the city that came at us about the housing thing. And be honest with you, it was kind of controversial, but it helped us open it back up and give them a different chance. And it might open it up for some other people also. So that's the thing, is we got to compete too. We don't just get stuff. We got to compete for it.
Gotta be ready.
As long as we're ready and we, bring in the shine in the best, character, knowledge, wisdom, why not select that person?
Wow. Heart-to-heart conversation with County Commissioner Charles Nash. Good brother. I'm glad we can sit down and have these conversations. You know what I mean? You are the highest ranking Democrat, on the county commissioner right now, and very, very influential person. Question: There's a stigma out there that the Republican Party is racist. If you voted for the Republican Party or you voted for Donald Trump, you are supporting a racist. What is your opinion about that?
Well, see, and that's the thing that's really kind of throwing me with some of these different conversations, like I said, because honestly, a couple of weeks ago, I might have felt that way. But after I saw this election, I said there was no way that I made my comeback just by us only, right? So there had to be some people that didn't look like me that might have voted for Donald Trump, but also said, you know what, but I like Nash better. So I'm going to vote for him instead of this other guy or this other person. So that right there told me, especially with all of us winning as Dem, and I'm sure there was a lot of Dems in there, but I know it wasn't all.
Right.
And it was some people that just said, you know what, I'd rather have, because after 2016, they realized, hey, we kind of screwed up this whole county and
nothing got done. Yeah.
And so things were all jacked up, but I think people had better sense and decided I'm, split my ticket a little bit this time. And I was kind of proud of that. And that tells me you can't vote for a person like me and sit and say this person is prejudiced, right?
Right.
So, that kind of blows that out the water as it is. But a lot of people of color feel like anybody voting for Donald Trump is just racist. And I heard people say, you know what? I'm blocking all my friends that voted for Donald Trump because they racist. And I'm like, I understand your strong feelings, and I'm not knocking you for it. If you want to block them, you go right ahead. But my thing is don't just put everybody in the same bubble, because we don't want somebody just saying all black men do this,
right.
All black men do that. And all white folks are not racist. I ain't gonna say it. Some of them are. I'm just saying all white folks are not racist.
Yeah, because if they were, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have right now. And that's just honest to God truth. If you're going to be honest about everything,
it's going to be a while to heal, and I'm definitely praying for our community, our sisters. Please don't feel like that vote was against y'all, because it wasn't. Black women around the country did good in a lot of places.
Oh yeah, a lot of different places. Yeah.
Before we go, how can the Democratic Party not have agenda for us when they come for our votes every election cycle? They cater to black populists for votes, but have nothing for us. Coming to talk to us about Camilla, but won't come talk to us about housing, employment, and economic growth is crazy to me. Thank you for that feedback. Mr. Nash, good people. They love you. We know that. One of our own, born and raised here, decided to stay here. Before we go, let people know what you do, because you're a county commissioner part-time, even though you got the title.
Right.
You got a full-time gig.
Yeah. I was telling somebody that the other day. I said, man, I've been working darn near 2 jobs since about 2006, doing community work and county work, and actually 2009, because that's when I started at the county. But it's been a 2-job thing all the time. And so when I was thinking I might not win, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to fill this extra time I got when I'm not doing all this
You
other
actually
stuff.
doubted you weren't going to win?
Well, at first I thought maybe the count was over. But then something told me, said, maybe it's not quite done. But I just left it alone. And I said, let me get myself ready just in case we don't pull this out,
Wow. And
so I had got in that mode, and I was even talking to my daughters, and I was saying, hey, and they trying to console me. I'm like, don't worry about me. I said, I'm going to have to make some changes. We're going to figure it out. But then after we got off the phone, I said, let me check it one more time. And it was about 5:30. And I seen everything had flipped. And I was like, wow. I had to really double check to make sure I wasn't sleepy and seeing it wrong. But then I realized, I'm like, hey, that was right. I said, we won. I said, couldn't believe that, So I was real thankful that people had enough faith to continue to keep supporting me and some of the other Dems. And I think that was important for the county. So we can get back to business as usual and keep trying to do the best for this community. And that's, I think, all our agendas are about, trying to make sure we do the best for this county.
Well, congratulations.
We appreciate you guys.
You got a lot on your shoulders.
And I always appreciate y'all's support and efforts for the community.
Yes,
it's big. It's big.
Thank you. 22 years. All right, family. That was County Commissioner Charles Nash. Support him. Connect with him on Facebook. I know those county commissioner meetings don't be packed, but you need to go down there and see what's going on.
And that's one key you just mentioned. That's the thing. You talk about the party and this and that. Nobody shows up. Even the county board meetings, half the time nobody's showing up. So you really want to get some change, you got to show up, and you got to get other people to show up with you. So that's what moves the needle.
All right, going back to my music. After